What's going on, YouTube fam? So today we're going to be talking about 3 cameras that are affordable for your pocket and are still amazing for vlogging. Right after this intro sequence, we'll get started. I got a question from An that asked me to make a video on affordable vlogging cameras and some tips on editing your vlogs. He thinks that vlogs get kind of boring. Before we get started, I just want to say that this week hasn't been the best week and it kind of just started. There have been some really unfortunate events for me in the past few days and it's just really demotivating, but the videos must come. And honestly, I really didn't want to make a video because it was just that demotivating to me. Like, I was sitting there and I was like, man, I really don't want to do anything this week. I'm gonna push myself and make this video for you guys, so we're gonna get started. First camera, Canon G7X. So the Canon G7X is a really lightweight camera. It's a point and shoot. It is not a DSLR. It's not one of those bulky ones that you can take really good pictures with. It's kind of like a standard consumer camera, one of those things that people would walk around with in middle school, like those really tiny ones that were probably like really light blue or light red, like the one that I used to use. That's the G7X. It has a flip up screen, so you'll see the screen here. Just one sec. So it has a flip up screen, so the screen will pop up right here. So like you'll see the screen flip up here while you're holding the camera. So it'll be like this, screen up here so you guys can see yourself. But if you try to attach like a microphone on the top or anything like that, it's gonna block the screen and you're not gonna be able to see it. So that design was kind of, faulty. I don't know why they put it on top instead of what they usually do and put it on the side. That's what the G7X does. It has 60 frames per second in 1080p. It does not record any 4K. It comes in at about $700 brand new, but you could probably find a used one for around $500. Pretty good deal. You get 60 frames per second, so you can record some awesome slow-mo with it. It's a pretty good camera for the budget. The second camera that comes into play is the Sony A series. Now, there are several options when it comes to this. You can get a Sony A5000 that records only in 1080p. The autofocus is alright. Everything about the camera is alright. It has a flip up screen. I don't know if it flips down or up. I really don't remember. I'm pretty sure it flips up. It might be down. If you want to get the upgraded versions, the Sony A6300 is the cheaper one that has 4K with it. It runs at about $1,000 with the lens. You can always buy it used, and you're probably gonna find it around $600–700 used on eBay or Amazon. So if you can grab a used one, grab it, because whether or not it's used, if it works like new, it's gonna fit your purpose right. Sony A6300 or Sony A6500 if you're feeling to spend a few more $100 depending on your budget. I really don't know your budget. Those come into play. They both record 4K. The A6500 has image stabilization, which might help with you, but it also might not be necessary. Both have great autofocus. They both record at 60 1080p, and I believe that one of them records at 120 frames per second. So yeah, actually, the Sony A6300 and the Sony A6500 both record at 120 frames per second slow motion. That is incredible for your B-roll in vlogging. If you want to do that, that's exactly what I do with my camera. I record all my B-roll in 120p or 64K if needed, and I don't know if I want it to be B-roll. I'm going to be using that. So if you really want to get into those slow-mo, really crispy, creamy, smooth slow-mo shots, that might be the camera for you, but it depends on your budget as well. The Lumix G7 is my third option. It records in 4K, it has fast autofocus, and there's a 4K photo mode. Now what this basically means is that the camera is going to be recording a video in 4K for you to screen cap straight from the camera to create a JPEG image. So if you don't know what any of that meant, basically you're screenshotting a video straight from the camera and it's going to give you an image from that. It's kind of capturing the image in a larger scale so that it can downscale it into a really high quality image, a 4K image. So that's kind of what 4K photo, 6K photo means if you ever wondered. The G7, all the Lumix cameras, all the Panasonic cameras, they have amazing quality. Their only downside is the low light capabilities. Their low light capabilities are not good. But if you're going to be recording during the day, if you're vlogging out in the sun all the time, if you're going to be in controlled light like your house where lights are set up, the G7 might be a really good option for you. The camera runs in at about $800 and probably find it used, let's say $500–600. That's a really good camera to be using. The G7 is lightweight, it's all mirrorless. Every camera I've talked about are really lightweight cameras because they're vlogging cameras in my opinion. I'm gonna throw in some bonus cameras. These are kind of DSLRs, but I love the Canon series. So the Canon 6D Mark II, that's actually pretty expensive, so I'm not gonna go too much into it. It has a flip screen, autofocus, time lapse. It has everything you need in a vlogging camera. If you want to check that out, I'll leave a link to all of these in the description below, so check all of those out. The Canon ATD, that runs in at about $1,000. You could probably find it used for $800 or $750. Canon 70D, you're gonna find it used for $500. I don't know how much new. It might be $1,000 or $800 new. Used, you're gonna find it about $500, $600. 70D was something that I used for so long, and then I lent it to my friends. He could use it, and he has been using it for the longest time. He actually just bought it off of me. Canon 70D is so reliable. You're gonna need to purchase a specific wide-angle lens if you want to be vlogging on it. It was like the Casey Neistat primary camera vlogging kit. He used the 70D and the 11 to 24. 11 to 24 lens. He stuck with it for a long time, and you know, a lot of people use that kit. That's a really reliable kit. So now let's go into some editing tips. The first thing is that when you're doing your vlog, I know it might be a little bit harder because you don't know what's gonna your day is gonna consist of. It is best to plan everything out ahead of time. So let's say that, oh, I want to go from in my house to my car. Let's do a quick transition and whip the camera. And then you whip the camera from inside your house, then you whip it back in the car, and there's your transition. So you want to be able to do most of the stuff in camera so you don't have to worry about it later in post-production. You can make that cut easy and not even worry about transitions. You could add a sound effect or something to enhance it, but you don't need to, which is the best part. It's kind of like a shortcut, doing everything in camera. So if you haven't seen my last video about, you know, making a boring vlog better, you can check the card up here, up there, wherever it is, it's gonna pop up, but you can check that out, and there's gonna be some tips of making your boring vlog better. We're going into specific editing tips here. So when you're editing your vlog, you don't wanna keep all those pauses. So like right here, you're gonna want to cut all those boring, unnecessary parts that people will actually notice in the back of their mind and click away from. Because if they take too long to get the message, then it's not gonna work out. Like, people are gonna get really bored. They're gonna see all these pauses or all these awkward moments, unless they serve a purpose, like a comedy. Like, I know that some people leave the whole clip running because there's something weird going on in the back, there's something wrong with their face, or you know, it's just a funny moment. That's fine. But if it's just like a boring moment where there's nothing going on, you don't want to keep that. You want to cut that small portion out. And what I do is I look at the audio spectrum. Usually, if in my sit down and talk videos, I look at the audio, and if there's like a flat line, usually there's nothing there, but you should listen just in case, because sometimes when you start talking really quietly, it blends in with that flat line and you don't really see it. So usually I cut out those flat lines, and I put in the wavelengths together. I guess you can call it the wavelengths, but I put those together, and then, you know, I listen through it and I make sure that everything's fluid, no words got cut out. Sometimes they do, and you can go back and fix that. That is the best thing to do. Just cut out all those unimportant pauses and weird, awkward moments. Keep it fluid. Another thing that you're gonna wanna do in editing is pick the right music. Now, if you're gonna pick like a country song or a rock song or something, and it doesn't fit the mood, it's gonna be really, like, it's gonna be a real big turnoff. So you need to pick the right music. So something that's, if it's like a relaxing, scenic thing, you might wanna pick something more scenic or something more relaxing or something that really like vibes with you and the viewers. I'm not saying that you should just pick music to, you know, satisfy the viewer. Pick the music that you think suits you best. Something that you think suits the mood of the vlog. Not something that, you know, you just, oh, this is my favorite song right now, or this is what the viewers would like. This isn't the Billboard Top 100. No. You want to pick something that fits the vlog, not something that would satisfy anybody else's needs, because if you pick a song that doesn't fit with the vlog, it's going to be a disconnect from the viewer in the video. And that's not something that you want. Pick the right music. And maybe even add some sound effects. Another thing when editing your vlog is you can always have something really, really interesting. Like, let's say you've seen all these like CSI episodes or crime scene episodes where they put the main part of the show, like something that it came like 45 minutes later in the show, at the very beginning. So like you get this suspense, this intense feeling like, oh, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. So you put that clip at the beginning and then you start all the way back. You rewind the vlog and you play it where it was supposed to actually be played. You know, you play through the vlog and people are constantly waiting to see that scene that you put in the beginning, and it's near the end, so they literally have to watch through the entire vlog. That's one way to capture the viewers and keep them interested, so you don't have to put everything chronological. Now, that goes with anything. You could be speaking, and then it cuts to one scene, and then it goes back to that speaking, and then it goes back to another scene, and it keeps going, and basically you use that one scene of you talking or whatever to overlay the entire video. It's like telling a story. So let's say that you vlogged one day and then you're telling the story of it in your house the next day, and you play through these clips so it goes with what you're saying.
Usually at this point of the year there is a ton of snow, people are shoveling their driveways, there's ice everywhere, everyone is wearing 16 layers of clothing because it is too cold to do anything else. Not what happened yesterday. The weather was 17 degrees. It's 17 degrees.
Now you already know that that's not in chronological order. You know, it just makes the vlog more interesting. It lets them engage more. It lets them really like, you know, put the pieces together without having to. My last tip about editing vlogs is that you want to be able to capture anything. So just capture as much as you can and keep the B-roll awesome. You might not think that things may be interesting, but it's better to have more content in your story that you don't think is interesting than to have no content at all and just you talking into the camera about stuff the whole time and not sharing any experiences or having anything interesting at all that others may think are interesting. Like someone might think that me throwing my camera at the wall is interesting, even though I may not think it's interesting because I might hate my life after that. That is something that you can put in your vlog. You may not want to, but sometimes putting in the vlog is a lot better than not having any content at all. So that is my last tip to you guys. Make sure to provide content no matter what it is. Grab as much as you can. Do not be afraid to grab the content. Unless someone's telling you that you can't record there, why shouldn't you, you know? Remember that there's a lot of people out there vlogging and they just do it in public. They hold their huge cameras in public, record themselves. So you're not the only one. And you know, in this day and age, everybody does it. So it's not that weird anymore. Just don't be afraid. So guys, that is all for today's episode. I hope that my week gets resolved and my issues get resolved because this is a really important thing. I wanted to make a video for you guys regarding what it was when it came, and things are just not working out right now. So I hope that everything gets resolved really soon because I was so excited to show you guys, and I just really hope I get the chance to show you guys and everything gets fixed. I will catch you guys in the next video. Make sure you guys hit that like button, share this video, and smash that subscribe button, and make sure to leave a comment below as to what you want my next video to be. Ask, hey David, can you talk about, or hey David, this, that. Ask a question and I may just make an entire video dedicated to your question. I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.
Do it faster. Go. One more time. Go.